This is the Ford F-150 Platinum. I've been reviewing cars on my channel for nearly a year now, and I have yet to drive a proper truck. I've driven vehicles that are based on this platform, such as the Expedition and the Navigator, but this is my first experience reviewing a truck, and what a truck to have. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 5-litre V8 with the SuperCrew cabin and the 6.5-foot bed space. Not only do I have a truck, but I have the best-selling vehicle in Canada for the past 52 years. So the question I have to ask myself is, was this truck worth the wait? Well, that answer is coming up here on the Drive Guide. For 2018, the Ford F-150 did receive a few noticeable upgrades. For one, in the 2018 model year, we are finally getting a diesel, which is about time really. I don't know why it's taking them so long to put one in, but that's finally happening. Every engine except for the 3.3 base engine will be getting a 10-speed automatic. There's a few different style updates. We've got the different grills and the headlights and the tail lights. The purpose of restyling the grille was to make it so that you could more easily discern which Ford was which. I prefer the look of the previous F-150 before it went through this facelift, and there's quite a few 2018 F-150s that I've seen, especially with the body color grille, that I really don't like. This one is okay. Although I do prefer the older styling of the F-150, I'd like to know what you think. Do you prefer the look of it before the facelift or after the facelift? There are so many different ways to configure an F-150 that I'm not gonna waste my time trying to explain the differences between them all. But what you need to know is I am in the Platinum. And with this Platinum, I have pretty much everything. I've got the off-road FX4 package. So what that's gonna give you is an E-locking diff. It's gonna give you some additional underbody protection and also hill descent control. Then I've got the massive sunroof that you see above me. It's brilliant and everyone in the cabin can take advantage of it. I have the upgraded towing package, so that gives me the trailer backup assist and these much larger wing mirrors. With this towing package, you can also accommodate for the trailer blind spot assist system, which is absolutely genius. I also have the technology package, so that's gonna give me the lane keep assist system, the 360-degree cameras, the automatic parking feature. Honestly, the option list goes on and on and on. The only way to really spend more money in this car is to go with a couple different engines. So with this 5-litre V8, the next upgrade is the 3.5-litre twin-turbo EcoBoost engine. That in Canada is a $750 upgrade. But with that new diesel that I just mentioned, that is around a $7,000 upgrade. Now, talking about the V8 specifically, this engine is able to produce 395 horsepower and 400 pounds-feet of torque. We have automatic stop-start with this engine as well. For those people that don't like it, you can easily just hit this button on top of the screen. The engine itself sounds really good, but you don't get any kind of exhaust drama out of this engine at all. If you're pinning your foot into the floor to try and rev this engine out, you're hearing it in front of you rather than behind you. One of the things that modern trucks do so well is the isolation from the road. At highway speeds, I still can't believe how quiet this truck is, even with these massive wing mirrors. Admittedly, I haven't put them all the way out to their furthest position, but you really aren't getting that much noise from them. One thing that I am surprised to say about this truck is that it isn't absorbing the rough pavement as easily as I was expecting. There's a lot of secondary movements even after you go over a manhole cover like that. All this rough bit of pavement coming up right here. But the 10-speed is brilliant, totally seamless like it was in the Navigator and the Expedition. Shifting our focus to the interior, It's very similar to the F-150s before it. We've got the brilliant Sync 3 system that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I really like the simplistic layout of the buttons for the radio input as well as the climate control down here. The one thing that does bother me though is that there is no physical button for the heated steering wheel. If you want to get to the heating steering wheel, you have to go to the climate settings. And if you're in Apple CarPlay listening to music, you have to hit 1, 2, 3 buttons before you even get to the option to turn it on or off. You do have to remember that the F-150 is built with the initial intention to be a workhorse. Although many people these days buy a truck as a luxury vehicle, you can spec it out to things that would match something like an imported SUV, say a BMW X5. And with this one we're looking at a $76,000 truck. I've got heated and cooled seats that in the front massage you, the rear seats are heated. There's still plenty of hard plastics, but you do have these brilliant seats that are leather wrapped. The stitching is very nicely put together. All of the buttons in here feel great. There's plenty of storage options. You do also have a few different driving modes with this 5-litre, and you select them with this little button down here on the shifter. You can also shift gears manually with this up-down rocker here on the side. And this 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen Play system is fantastic. I mentioned in my Expedition review that I wasn't exactly sure why a big name like Bang & Olufsen was in a Ford product rather than a Lincoln product. This isn't a Bang & Olufsen system. It's a Bang & Olufsen Play by Harman. So it's the equivalent of Sip by Swell. They don't want you calling it their full-blown product for the worry that it might cheapen the brand, I suppose. We also have the ladder that's installed into the tailgate, and we also have the optional box side steps available as well. You do need to give them a good kick to put them back into place. If I wanted to sit behind myself, I am gonna have a field day. In my mind, I see the Raptor as sort of like the flagship for the F-150. That didn't receive any sort of upgrades like the regular F-150 did, but honestly, I don't want them to change anything about that truck. I'm not really a truck guy. I don't have the kind of lifestyle or the desire that necessitates owning a vehicle such as this. But that Raptor, that is something rather quite desirable. I'm totally getting the truck boy image too. I've got my hand on the shifter for no obvious reason. I'm resting my hand at the top of the wheel. I'm already adapting to the lifestyle, believe me. It's very clear that the F-150 is a popular car for good reason. No matter the configuration, you are going to get this truck with good bones. You have many engine choices, many different ways to configure your perfect F-150. Although I have enjoyed the 5-litre V8, I would prefer, if it was my personal vehicle, to have this car with the new 3-litre diesel. The fuel economy alone would be such a brilliant benefit, especially for someone like me that does a lot of highway miles. The steering was heavier than I was originally anticipating, and I think the ride could be a little more plush. But all in all, no matter how you spec your F-150, you are going to be satisfied with it, from the amount of technology that it provides to the refinement and the isolation. There's a very good reason why this truck is the best-selling vehicle in Canada. So that's been everything from me. Thank you so much for taking the time to watching this video. I hope you can like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you again here on The Drive Guide.